Bald-Sicilian, FBS. I am very grateful for Fat Bald-Sicilian. I'll tell you why. FBS created more channels than Comcast. Okay, FBS endorsed a lot of channels. He created a lot of channels, and I bet he can't count how many channels that he has helped to get monetized, and I'm one of them.
You know, and then it's not like you have no violence on your record until you're 30, and then one night you just decide to go out and kill a cop. It doesn't happen like that.
Fabrizio was always a tough kid. He was a tough kid. He had a nice punch. If you hit him, he would knock you the fuck out.
I already had the position. I don't want to say boss, but that's what I was. I had the position. I was made directly with New York, and I didn't have to answer to nobody in my area.
I didn't watch the show, so I didn't really understand the magnitude or, like, you know, how big this moment was.
But you know, when De Niro asked him to let the old lady stay, you know, and she has to stay with the dog. Well, God, that's never started, huh? You know, that scene, and he was like, it's nuts.
Anytime I got to shoot at John's restaurant on East 12th Street, which was like a big mob hangout where like Joe the Boss Masseria were like whole court, and I got to work with Ivo Nandi, who played Joe the Boss. Those were some of my favorite scenes.
And the moment you walk in, I could recognize who's at the bar, who's at the table, FBI. And this is the first time that I meet Sonny Franchitti.
As a matter of fact, outside the Bada Bing, Satin Dolls, we put a curtain in the parking lot. Everyone was wondering, why is that big curtain in the parking lot? We were rehearsing the hanging scene.
I'm living proof, guys. I'm living proof. I mean, no, I'm no millionaire or nothing, but listen, look at my life 4 years ago. I was in a fucking hotel. I was, you know, selling crack. I was snorting coke. I was drinking myself to fucking death. I was literally taking bags full of Ativan just because I wanted to die in my sleep. I was all alone, you know, and now I'm here. I have my family. I have a little bit of money in the bank. I got everything I want. And I got you guys in this channel. So if I can do it, any of you can do it. Yerp. What's up, guys? Let me see. Let me let him tell you.
What the fuck is you doing? What you doing, dickhead?
Dickhead?
Yeah.
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 Yo.
What up, dickhead? Let me see who we got. Blood nose? What the fuck? Douchebags. Lilo Brancato was named in some organized crime case in Buffalo, apparently. Get the fuck out of here. Are you serious, Casey? Holy shit. I gotta check that out then. Let me do some shout outs here. Sally, Miss Can't Be Wrong, BTF Phoenix, Dave, Jesse Roth, Bobby Barbarian, Ronan 456, Larry Bicuspy, Casey Robinson, Antonino, Ferris 28. Hey, what's up, bro? It's been a while. Same to you. Same to you. Panettone this weekend, which I love. What is that? What is that? I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is. Anyway, guys, fucking cold today. Here, check me out. You want to see something? Here's a little something for the trolls. Yeah. I don't miss a day, guys. I mean, I had to miss yesterday. I fucked everything up, and Thanksgiving was raining. But I don't miss a day. I don't give a fuck how cold it is out. Oh, check me out. Look at that fucking place. There's my half pipe in the background. See that? I love that fucking thing. So anyway, I got a video that I'm going to play. I'm just going to play it off my phone. Funny as fuck, man. Oh, really? I don't remember that. Anyway, fuck is you doing, dickhead? Joe Bag of Donuts. Hello, people. I think I fucked my algorithm up again, but I don't know. It's the weekend. It's hard to tell. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. I hope not. I certainly hope not. I can't take anymore. So anyway, Are you a made guy? Chicky. Are you a made guy, Chicky? Why Chicky? Oh, because he said that he got straightened out. He told the waitress or whatever. Yeah, well, hey, listen. He's a big boss. You know, Chicky is not somebody to play around with. He'll fucking reach for a slice of pizza and crash his car right into you. He gives zero fucks. How many of you heard this Nick Romano thing where he's talking about winning? He's like, you know, the new Charlie Sheen. How many of you have heard that? It's fucking funny. He's nuts, man. That dude, I know we talk about this a lot, but he is severely mentally ill. I mean, this is a guy who oh, yeah, I know. Well, John Gotti Jr. barely knows him. That's the funny part. You heard it, Miss Campion? Well, I know you heard it. Bobby, you haven't? Yeah, I'm going to play it for you in a second. This guy has caught 2 cases since he's been on here. I think the first one, is that a civil thing or a criminal? I think it's civil, right? That the detective delivered to him, but still, it's a case. Don't matter. You know? Now he's got this shit. The DUIs are a motherfucker, man. I don't know the laws in Arizona, but they're probably pretty strict, you know, probably like most of the states. Most states have the same DUI penalties. But I'm going to look into it. I wonder if that's his first one. If that's his first one, he'll get 6 months probation probably. He might lose his license for 3 months. And he'll probably have to do like 48 hours in jail. It's not much, but still, then the hard part comes. The jail and the probation and shit, that's the easy part. It's everything that happens after. Or should I say, no, the probation is tough too. So the jail part is easy. Yeah, he claims he had nothing in the system except for weed. Yeah, sure. I bet Arizona DUI laws are similar to Nevada, which means it's going to be a big pain in the ass for him. Yeah, I think anywhere you get a DUI at this point, you know, anywhere in this country, you're in for a shitty ride. It's bad. I'm telling you, man. That last one I went through, fuck that. Thousands upon thousands of dollars, fucking jail, house arrest, probation, license suspension. And that, let me tell you, that might be the worst part. The license. Imagine being fucking, what was I then? I don't know, maybe between like 28, 29 and 32, 30, 31, 32, whatever it was. Imagine being that age and you can't drive. Luckily, I had a girl who would just take me anywhere, but still, the fines are going to suck too. They are. Romano said the way he was running his mouth made them think he was drunk and he refused the field test. Oh, well, then there you go. Did he refuse a field test or a blood test? Did he refuse both? Because if he refused both, I told you how that works. You get charged with the highest tier. Osmosis, no. Never a dull moment. If you're new, welcome. If you're a troll, we'll get rid of you soon. Guys, if you feel like donating today, that'd be great. I did 3 shows in the last 2 days and I made $40. So if you wouldn't mind donating, I'd appreciate it. If you could, if you're wondering why I'm like this today, my demeanor and I seem like down and stuff, I can't take it anymore. I really can't. I'm at my wit's end. So I got to make some money, you know. I have to. I gave you guys like, I don't know, 2 or 3 solid weeks of excellent shows. Now it's like I don't know what I got in me, you know. Yeah, I need some money. Anyway, let me play this for you. And by the way, guys, I got 2 days to the end of the fucking month. And I'm nowhere near last month with my Google AdSense, my check. But let me see. Need about 300 in super chats. Cash is always great too, but for my check, super chats about 300. So yeah, I'm gonna need that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, oh yeah, because I'm a degenerate gambler, Ferris. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. No, I got money. I just want money for what I do. You know. Anyway, let's get off of that. I don't feel like doing this today. Let me play you this, guys.
I just keep winning. I just keep winning and winning and winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. I'll see you guys later.
He did a video just to say that, I think, unless that was like just the end and I got a clip of it. Yeah. Did you guys hear that? Let me see. Doesn't a DUI start at like 50K? What do you mean? Yeah, fines and all that shit, or what, lawyers or what? No, I mean, the first DUI isn't much. You know what I mean? You might have $1,000 in fines and costs, but you do have to pay for drug and alcohol counseling. You might have to do some sort of drug court, or you're going to pay for DUI classes, all that. You're going to lose your license at least for a little while. You're going to have to go to jail at least. Like here, the first offense used to be 48 hours in jail. Now, my lawyer was a beast. So he said, well, listen, now you got to remember, I was in a psych ward like 3 or 4 months after that DUI. Okay. Well, after the second DUI, but don't matter because they, like I said, they have more than 3 months. So I had already been to the psych ward when I went to court for the first one. So my lawyer was like, well, listen, my client voluntarily, I don't know how he got away with that, committed himself as a way of, detoxing and getting treatment. So I would like to, oh, okay. I would like to, get him time served for the, because I spent a week in there. So I'd like to get him time served for the 48 hours. So the judge was like, okay. Like, God damn, that was easy. A weekend. I'd rather go in for a few months, probably. A weekend. You got to fucking, everything you got to do just to be, being admitted and pre-class and all that horse shit. And fuck all that. If I'm going to go, I mean, a few days is just an inconvenience. Yeah, the whole thing. I don't know. I'd say my second one altogether, Bobby, was probably 10,000. 10,000. Altogether with everything. Because I told you my fines and costs and shit was like 7 G's, but I had to pay to be on probation. I had to pay to be on house arrest. I had to pay for all my classes. I had to pay for just everything. You know what I mean? You got to pay to get your fucking license back after it's suspended. You got to pay for all. Plus, I was in work release. You got to remember, work release is nice, but it ain't free. York County Prison work release is $14 a day. You got to pay $14 a day. And when you got a job where you're washing dishes or something like that, you know what I mean? I used to, before I was able to switch to the motorcycle place, the Syncreon, where I was building motorcycles, when I was in jail, this is how motivated I am. I didn't have a job when it was time to go to jail. So I just took anything I could get. I got a dishwasher job at Texas Roadhouse, $7.25 an hour. Now I get my check every week. And what they do is the check goes immediately to the jail. You don't get it. So say you get it on Friday. I forget what day it usually was. It was usually, I think, like Tuesday, something like that. A CO will come around you could either get it cashed by them. Well, this is what they would do. They'd come around with your checks because they would take your paycheck. Then they would cash it. Okay. Then they'd give you a new check from York County Prison for the balance after they took their $14 a day. Okay. It's really fucked up. So, I would have $35 left out of a paycheck. And I would cash that because they'll cash the check for you too for a couple of dollars after they give it to you. And I would just send it to my daughter's mom. It's like, what the fuck? And then that's why finally I couldn't take no more. I went to the fucking director of work release and I said, listen, I got a family. You got to let me get a real job. I can't do this shit anymore. And he was cool. He gave me 2 hours to go to this temp agency where the temp agency was hiring for Syncreon, for the motorcycle place. So they gave me 2 hours and the place was like a block from York County Prison. There was no blocks. It was on a road, but it was like around the corner. So I got to go there. I got to smoke some cigarettes while I was out and shit. And I got to fill out the application and get hired. And then, you want to talk about some bullshit. So I give Texas Roadhouse my notice, and I say, this is my last day. I gave them the day before I was to start at Syncreon. The start date they gave me was a couple of weeks away. So I told Texas Roadhouse, I got, this is my last day, whatever. So my last day comes, Texas Roadhouse, I'm done. I go back to the jail thinking tomorrow night, I report to Syncreon, beautiful. The next day, there was a visitation, in the afternoon. Somebody was slipped some dope, you know what I mean? And he shit it out in the shower. Now, because they'll swallow it, and then they'll boof it, put it in their asshole, whatever. And you know what I'm saying? So they'll shit it out. Well, they don't have to find the dope. All they got to do is find the shit in the shower, and they know now that somebody shit something out. So 2 weeks lockdown. I shit you not. 2 weeks lockdown. Lockdown means nobody goes to work. Nobody goes to work. So now I basically sentenced myself to 2 weeks. Well, I wouldn't have been able to anyway, really. But, if I would have been allowed to go to work, no, wait, what am I thinking about? No. Yeah, even if I was allowed to start, I wouldn't have been able to leave the fucking jail. But, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. Maybe it wasn't the jail. We did go on lockdown. I forget what happened. All I know is I screwed myself, and then the lockdown happened. So I had to sit in jail for 2 weeks. I can't remember if we were allowed to go to work or not. I don't know. Forget that whole story because now I don't remember it. Let me think. No, you think you know what I think it was? They did go on lockdown, but I think Syncreon had problems with getting some part or something. They had to shut down. I forget what it was. I don't remember. All I know is I had to sit in there for 2 fucking weeks. So no cigarettes, no fresh air, no nothing. Why do I have hair hanging from my fucking head? Osmosis. I was taught if I'm extremely intoxicated, then refuse the blood test as well because I'm screwed to the highest degree, whether I take it or not. But I guess, but you never know. I mean, you never know how intoxicated you are. I mean, you know how you feel and stuff, but if you refuse the blood test, you're basically not only, giving yourself, the highest tier charge, but you're also, convicting yourself pretty much, you got no shot after that. You can't even really fight it, so I don't know, but I wish I wouldn't have refused the blood test because that day I told you I wasn't even drunk. I drank the night before, but I had it on, you could smell that shit. It comes out of your pores. You got it on your breath. And it was like 3, 4 in the afternoon. The next day they pulled me over. And if I would have took a blood test, if I was above the legal limit, it would have been barely. And I would have got a first tier DUI, and I would have wound up probably with, I might have gotten 30 days in jail. I might have gotten a year license suspension rather than 3.5. I might have gotten fucking, a lot less fines and costs, all that shit. So it was a mistake for me, but I know what you mean. I mean, if you're totally fucked up, or if you got, multiple things in your bloodstream you don't want them to know about, it might be better to just say, I'll take the 3rd tier charge. Yeah, you keep winning the booby prize, you dork. Yeah, let me play it.
I just keep winning. I just keep winning and winning and winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. I'll see you guys later.
You don't hear this kind of shit from Tony fucking Pizza. You really don't. You don't. Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, it just depends, Depends on your everything. There's so many variables. Again, a lot of it depends on your blood alcohol level or whether or not you refuse. Like my first DUI, I told you, my first DUI, if I didn't get the second one, if I hadn't gotten that one, I already got time served for the 2 days they wanted me to go to jail. They gave me that for being in the psych ward. I think I was supposed to get 6 months probation, 3 months license suspension. And the lawyer told me he figured out a way for me not to lose my license on the first one. So 6 months probation, 3 months license suspension, and that would have been it. And, you know, fines and costs and whatever, drug and alcohol and shit. So, you know, you wrap the whole thing up for maybe, I don't know, 1,000 to 1,500, something like that. But because I think, like I said, fines and costs were somewhere around a G something, and then drug and alcohol counseling and all that stuff. But when I went to court for that, you know, pre-trial, that my lawyer was so excited. He was like, listen, we're good. You know, you probably won't have to do the 48 hours. You know, I might be able to make it so you don't lose your license and you'll be okay. And I said, no, Kurt, I won't. I said, I fucking got a second one. He was like, oh God. All right. Well, then that's out. And then, like I said, I got sentenced for the second one, but I didn't have to begin the sentence because my lawyer, there was new case law. The Supreme Court or the Superior Court of Pennsylvania, whatever the fuck it's called, they ruled, or maybe it was the Supreme Court, I don't remember, but they ruled that a second, I doubt it, not the real Supreme Court, whatever we got in PA here. They decided that a second DUI, if you haven't been convicted of the first one yet, isn't a second, it's a second first offense. So I don't know, but it's crazy. I got a friend who got 4 DUIs. He got 2 years flat in state prison. Flat meaning there's no good time, no nothing. You do every day of that 2 years, you know? And he lost his license for 10 or 12 years, something like that. No kidding. I knew another guy, Dave. I was in with him the whole time in 2016 and 2017. He took a plea deal for 38 months, and they let him do it in York County Prison so he could do work release because he had a sick mom and he was helping take care of and stuff like that. It's a pretty sweet deal because the one before that, he got 5 years in state prison. He did 5 years upstate. He had I don't even know, 8 or 9 DUIs, something insane like that. And he said his license is gone forever. He'll never get it back. Never. I know one guy, listen to this shit. This dude, Rob, this fucking guy, he fucking turns his license in. Or, I'm sorry, he gets his license suspended. And what you got to do then is you have to turn your physical license in before your suspension time starts, before it starts, being counted, whatever. So he didn't know that. He never did it. Okay. He went 10 years without driving. When he went to get his license back, they told him, you never turned it in. Therefore, your time didn't start yet. No bullshit. So he had to turn his license in and wait another 10 fucking years. He's probably still waiting. Yeah, it's nuts. Back then, they just, put it on you to turn it in. By the time I got my DUIs, you turn it in as soon as you get sentenced, you hand your license over to the clerk of courts or whatever the fuck it is, and your time starts. He refused the blood test as well. They had to go out and get a warrant. It's about another $100 for every day the car stays in the impound. Wow, man. It's still in the impound, his car? What the fuck is this? What? But what is this? Hold on. Who sent that? Who put that post up? I'm confused. Whose comment was that? I don't know. Oh, that was Bobby? I don't know. Anyway, my brother-in-law has 4 DUIs. He could apply to get his license back, but it'll cost. He has had all the counseling and drug court. Yeah, he should do it. I mean, when I got my license back, I had to do a year with the fucking blow and go. You know, the thing you blow into. That's another thing. That, by the time you're done, costs probably a couple grand. You got to pay to have it put in. That's a few $100s. You got to pay every month just to have it. And if you fuck up, like one time I went in Blockbuster with my daughter to get a movie, and I left the car running because it was like 10 degrees out. I did it without thinking. We came outside and the thing had gone off because it'll randomly go off and you got to blow in it. So it shut down my car. So now we're stuck at the fucking Blockbuster. And I had to get the car towed to the place. I had to pay for that. And then I had to pay a few $100 to have them reset it. Complete and total racket. Horse shit. You know what a lot of people do? You don't have to drive. You just have to have that license for a year. So a lot of people just get the license and they won't even drive. They'll just wait out that year and then get a regular license back. Okay, I got you. 50K is high, but if you go to trial, a lot of lawyers out there charge 25K not for a DUI, bro. There's no way. In LA, Bobby, I highly doubt that. Highly doubt that. Especially for like a first offense. There's no, bro. You could pay for a defense for a murder case for 50K. It is not that expensive. My lawyer, who was a very good defense lawyer, I gave him like an $800 retainer. By the time the case was over, I still had a $370-something credit. You know what I mean? Like, because usually that's all they'll have to show up to. If you waive your preliminary, they don't have to go to that hearing. It's just pretrial. And most likely at pretrial, you're going to take a plea. So that's it. He's got to go to one hearing. You know what I mean? So now my second one, I had to pay a lot more because he appealed it. He appealed the DUI because of the Supreme Court ruling or whatever. And that shit, took some time and some money. But even that, bro, might have been $3,000. I'm telling you, Bobby, I would be shocked if there's any DUI, unless maybe you killed 3-4 people, like, in another car or something. 50K. Nah, you could fucking, I could get the top lawyer, anywhere around here to try a capital murder case for less than 50K. If that dumbass refused both the field test and the blood test, he is screwed. How the hell is that winning? Because he's nuts. He's insane. You know what I mean? Did you hear him? I mean, the way he kept repeating it. Listen to this lunatic. Thank you to the people who donated. I'm working my way to the super chats. You can keep donating, guys, please. Okay, let's do something here. No, not that one. This one.
I just keep winning. I just keep winning and winning and winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. I'll see you guys later.
And he's doing this and winning and winning and winning. He's out of his mind. He's out of his fucking mind. BTF Phoenix, $10, not 2 days, just today. Here's 3% of what you need. Oh, just today? Oh, what am I thinking? Oh, fuck me. Well, thank you, BTF Phoenix. God damn it. Shit! This is the last day of the fucking month? Oh, Christ. Plus, Romano's car is still financed by the bank, so they'll get it eventually if he don't. They would still, somehow he'd have to pay. You know what I mean? He'd still have to pay it. The finance company or the bank, whatever, they're not paying that shit. Let me see something. Bear with me, guys. Holy Christ. Fuck, man. I don't even know what day it is. Who's the bestest? Fires 28. The only way to win a trial is refusing breathalyzer because they cannot say that you refused it at trial in mass. Really? Chad, FBS, good evening, fella. Good evening to you. Oh, is this Chad D? I think the insurance company gets you too. They hit you hard in premiums. Oh, yeah, they don't like DUIs. No, so there's that. I mean, by the time you rack up all the money, guys, I'm telling you, it is a fucking nightmare. My felony cases were nothing compared to the DUI cases. Because again, guys, the jail time ain't the worst part by far. It's not. Trust me, I'm telling you. Especially if you can get yourself, like if you got a bullshit like not a bullshit charge, but it's not a felony or anything. You got to charge like a DUI. I don't know about most counties or states, but here at least you can get work release. So you got to think what that's like. Work release here is 60 hours you get to work every week. And let me tell you something. I've seen people work 70 and 80 hours and they don't say shit. The jail doesn't really care that much. If they want to hassle you, you signed a contract that said you'll only work 60 hours a week or you could be taken off of work release. But I've never seen them really bother anybody. So let's just go by the 60. You're in fucking jail for X amount of months. But if you got a job where you can work 7 days a week, you can work 7 days a week. If you got a job where you can work 6 days a week, you work 6 days a week and then sleep the seventh day. You know what I mean? Like Jesus, you rest. And you leave like my fucking job, Synchrion, from York County Prison was about a mile. They gave me 90 minutes or some crazy shit like that each way. It was either an hour or 90 minutes each way. So you got all kinds of time. And you're not supposed to stop at any stores, but we would stop at Sheetz. We'd get fucking drinks. We'd get fucking cigarettes. We would get whatever, food. You know what I mean? Then we'd go to work our shift, and then we got an hour and a half, whatever, to walk back. And you're walking with a group of people like Synchrion, probably like there had to be probably around, I don't know, 50 to 75 people on work release that work there. Now, each shift, it's not that many, but you probably got a group of, 20 guys, 15, 20 guys, something like that. Oh boy, do I get excited. I get excited. So, you're walking back, sometimes chicks too, because the women got work release as well. So it's kind of fun in a way, as crazy as it sounds. And then when you get near the prison, there's all types of places. You hide your cigarettes, you hide your lighter. You know what I mean? Then you go back to the jail and you shower, go to sleep, eat, whatever. And then, when it's time for your shift, you go back out. I mean, it's for jail. I remember I used to walk past the on-ramp to Route 30. It's like, the highway. And I would just think to myself, like, what if I just, like, walked onto Route 30 and just hitchhiked or something, but it's not worth it. I have a friend, this guy's name was James. Well, I had a friend, James. You could actually look up this article. This guy was he was a bad motherfucker. We hung out when we were teenagers and we used to do all types of crazy shit. I mean, there was so much gunplay back then, it was insane. And he was a big drug dealer too, and he did 10 years upstate. He did a couple of more in the feds. He had all types of shit, in his past as far as doing time. Well, him and his girl were going through a terrible breakup, and he had to go to work release to York County Prison for a fucking year. Well, something happened one day, and while he was at his job, he decided, I ain't going back to York County Prison. So he went home, which, you would think, well, why would you do that? You're on the run now, but that wasn't his plan. So he went and he was trying to work things out with his girl. They were fighting. The two sheriff's deputies or whatever show up, and they were out front. He comes around the back with a .357, and he shot one of them in the face, and they killed him. You know what I mean? They killed him on the spot. But I'm pretty sure that's what he wanted. I had talked to him not long before, and he said he just couldn't take anymore. He couldn't do any more time. He couldn't take what was going on in his relationship. And his sister had actually committed, several years before. So I don't know if it ran in the family, but a crazy story. He shot the sheriff right in the fucking face. So, but he didn't shoot the deputy. Oh, I'm sorry. Got to make a little joke, a little Bob Marley song there. Michael Hensley, we love you too. I got a DUI in 2014 in Cali. Lawyer cost me 3 G's, fine 1,000. Classes were 2,000. Insurance increases over 10 years, an extra 5,000. So there you go. So even in Cali, you know, you're not talking about 25 or 50 grand. Fuck no. Now, if you have a case where you caused an accident, like there was a guy who was drunk as fuck. He left some bar in New York City. He got on 30, and he was like, when he got on, he was maybe a mile from Harley. Well, he got on 30. He was going east in the westbound lane. So he was on the wrong side of the fucking highway. Okay. And there was a car with 3 Harley workers. They were going to Sheetz to get something to eat, because there was one right near there, and he hit them head on and killed all 3 of them. So that guy, you want to hear the sick part? I don't know about most states, but in PA, if you kill somebody during, you know, a DUI while you're drunk driving, you get 3 years per victim. That's it. 3 years. Now, could there be some circumstances where it's more than that? Could be, but I've never seen it. There was a woman that they told us about in DUI class. Same thing, not the same exact situation, but she killed 3 people, and she got 9 years. That was her sentence. You believe that shit? I told you, I had a CO say to me once, if you want to kill somebody, do it with a car, because he had seen so many people come and go for fucking, you know, vehicular manslaughter, whatever, you know, killing somebody while they were drunk and sick. My coochie's hairy, $9.99. Put it towards next DUI fees. I will. Thank you. My coochie's hairy. Bush Dweller, great story. Being in the system sucks. It does. Thank you. They cannot bring up the fact that you didn't take breathalyzer and mask, so the lawyers here say to never take it. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm surprised they haven't changed that. They will. John Comito, where's he? Pete's only met Sammy from Joey V. Joey V. I remember it was some. Who's Joey V? No, I don't remember. I remember he met Ori through some guy in his chat. Didn't meet him, but spoke to him or something. Refusal is automatic 1 year suspension. It is 1 year. Yeah, you know when you're signing, and they tell you that, you know, but it's like, again, I don't understand how it holds up in court. I mean, someday somebody's got to take that shit, you know, has to appeal it to the highest court possible and say, hold on. If you're saying that I was too drunk to operate a vehicle, how can you hold a document against me that I signed while I was under the influence that you said made me too inebriated to operate a vehicle? You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're saying that my judgment and my vision and all this shit is so clouded that I can't operate a vehicle safely, then how the fuck? I'm obviously making bad decisions, right? That's what happens when you're drunk, and that's what drunk driving is. How can you say that I was in the right state of mind, that this could be held against me in a court of law? How? I had no fucking idea. I was in a walking blackout. I didn't even know I was talking to a cop. I was so fucking drunk. You know what I mean? You might not want to say that, but you could say, according to you, I was so drunk that I couldn't drive. So how the fuck how could you hold this against me? How? I always wanted to know the answer to that. So I was too drunk to drive, but I wasn't too drunk to sign a piece of paper that you handed me that now is going to change my life for, you know, who knows how many months or years. Okay, gotcha. It's all bullshit. It's just set up for people to fail. And they don't give a fuck about DUI. That it generates revenue. That's what it is. It's a revenue machine for the police departments and counties and, you know, all that. That's all it is. They don't give a fuck. I said on here before, if they want to stop drunk driving, why do bars have parking lots if they don't? You know what I mean? Like, why? They don't care. Cops love that shit. The bars all over York, they used to sit outside the bars. Maybe not in the parking lot, but, you know, across the street, something, and just wait till it got late, 1:30, 2 a.m., and just watch people leave, and just anybody they felt had to be under the influence, they'd pull over. There'd be 4 or 5 cops. They'd pull as many people over as possible. That's a good point. You signed a contract under the influence. Yeah. Let me tell you, when you take a plea agreement in a court of law, the judge asks you every question possible so you can't come back and say, I didn't know what I was doing. Anybody who's been there will tell you. They will ask you, are you on drugs? Any type of drug? No. Are you under the influence of alcohol? No. Are you on any prescription medications? Yes. Do those prescription medications, I forget the words they'll use, but could they, are they mind altering in any way? Do they, you know what I'm saying? In other words, could you come back later and say, no, when I was on that drug, I was not in the right state of mind. I know it's prescription, but I didn't know what the fuck I was signing. So how come the judge has to go through all that for you to sign a guilty plea, but on a street somewhere where you're pulled over, that you could just sign a cop's paperwork and boom, you're guilty. You know what I mean? Ask anybody who's ever taken a guilty plea. They'll ask you if you're on over-the-counter medication and if that's clouding your judgment in any way. Are you fully aware of the deal you're agreeing to? Do you understand the paperwork that you're signing? You have to fucking recount your whole crime in detail before they'll even accept the guilty plea. You got to sign, the guilty plea might be 50 fucking pages. You got to sign every page. They make sure you cross every T and dot every I, literally. But on the corner of a street or on a road somewhere, you could just say, you could just sign a paper and it'll be held against you and you're guilty and that's it. Doesn't make any sense. If I can't sign a guilty plea under the influence of anything, even prescription medication, how the fuck are you going to let me sign one and use it against me when according to you, I was too drunk to operate a vehicle? It's bullshit. It's absolute fucking bullshit. Come on, guys. Cash Apps, Venmos, PayPals. Let's do it. Come on. Sean, Landon, Clark. Hope Nick gets help, and I hope you get donations today. I'm feeling compassionate. It's a win-win. Well, thank you, Sean. Listen, let me tell you something. I think Nick is a horrible guy, but I hope he gets help too. Because who knows? He might be a different person. Because he could say whatever he wants. He's talking about me right now. I heard. You can say whatever you want, Nick, but if you're not if you're trying to convince people that you're not on anything, you're failing miserably. People have eyes and ears. The problem with people who are on drugs or alcohol is that they think they look and sound fine because they're not seeing what everybody else is seeing. So they think they can really get away. I told you, I used to watch dope addicts fucking bent in half like Lefty. And then you wake them up and they say, what's wrong? Like, bro, you were just passing out. No, it wasn't. I'm fine. Like, oh, okay. All right. My lying eyes again. He got that tooth fixed. Oh, he didn't get it fixed. Did he? You're saying he should or what? I was so intoxicated. The officer asked if I'd step out and do some sobriety tests. My response, no thanks, officer. I just ate. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. A friend of mine went to a indoor skate park in Baltimore today. He's let me know how it was. You are always good, Charlene and Clark. Love having you in the chat. Of course. That's what Bobby had. She sent it to me. I was behind in the chat, so I didn't know. State Supreme Court. There you go. They changed the laws and just so they go back and count on. Used to be there after 10 years. You go back to 0. Oh, they do that. After it's 7 here. If it still is, it used to be. If you go, let me read and make sure we're talking about the same thing. Yeah. If you get a DUI 7.5 years after your last one, or 7 years and 1 day after your last one, it's a first offense again. Which I don't know. I don't know if I like that. To be honest, listen, man, drunk driving is a scumbag thing to do. I tried to, well, someday maybe I'll tell you the story or have somebody else tell it to you because, I don't know, but I tried to, I tried to do something once. I did something once that I hope was a little payment back to society for my fucking disgusting crime of drunk driving. Crimes. It's a sick fucking thing to do. But again, I don't see how you could be held accountable when you have no fucking idea what you're doing. I don't understand that, even just for driving drunk. I mean, I know they got to punish you, of course. And the point is to make it clear to you that you better never even drive, you know, if you're thinking about drinking. I understand that. You know what I mean? But I don't get, I'll give you an example. Like, I look at it like this. Okay. I know drunk driving is a crime itself. Okay. But the way you get punished is as if you already caused an accident by driving drunk. And it's weird to me because it's like, that's like charging me for shooting somebody when I only got caught with a gun. I didn't shoot anybody yet. But you're punishing me like I shot some fucking buddy. That's kind of how I see DUI. Like, guys, I probably drove drunk 1,000 times. I'm not proud of it. And most people have driven drunk at least once, and most people, I think, many times. Okay, it's just a matter when you get caught. I never hurt a single soul driving drunk. You know what I mean? But it's like when you get punished for a DUI, you would think you really hurt some fucking buddy. You know what I mean? I understand. Let me tell you a lot of what it is, and they'll even tell you this. Okay, the powers that be. Moms Against Drunk Driving is a huge organization that has a lot of pull. And even more than that, they have a lot of fucking money because fuck tons of money is donated to them every year. What do you think they do with that money? And this is not bullshit. This is true shit. You can ask any lawyer. He'll tell you. They grease the pockets of politicians. They donate big time to certain campaigns and shit. And in return, DUI laws get stiffened. That's just what happens. They get more and more strict. That's why, you know, remember back in the day, it was like, I think it was just if you were a point over, like, first of all, it was, I think it was it 0.10? Something like that originally, or maybe it was 0.12, and then it came down to 0.10, and then it was higher. And then they eventually brought it down to 0.08, which is abso-fucking-lutely absurd. I used to have the chart, 0.08, you know, like I had the chart, like you take a woman or a man at a certain weight, and, you know, it'll tell you how many drinks it takes to, you know, to get them to 0.08. And I mean, for say, you know, a woman who's say 5'5", 125 pounds, you're talking about a glass of wine, 2 beers, 1 shot, you know, something like that. For a man, you know, it could be a few beers, it could be, you know, 2 shots, it could be 3-4 glasses of wine. And, you know, generally, you know, people are not drunk at that point. They're not even, you know, under the influence. I mean, should you be able to drink at that, you know, with that blood alcohol level? I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying that that's why it got dropped to the point where, you know, if you had anything to drink and you get pulled over and get a breathalyzer, you're probably going to get a DUI. They set it up that way. That's true shit. I'm telling you, Moms Against Drunk Driving has a lot of pull. That's exactly what my lawyer told me on the second one when I said something about getting a much more lenient sentence or something. I forget what I asked him, and he made it clear. He said, no, these DUIs have mandatory minimums and shit, mandatory sentences, mandatory license suspension. And he said exactly what I just told you. He said, Moms Against DUI, whatever it's called. Is that what it is? Moms? No, what's it called, the organization? I forget exactly what it's called. I thought it was called Mom. What is it? I forget. Moms Against Drunk Driving, I think, right? Isn't that what I said the first time? Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Yes, there you go. MADD, M-A-D-D. 1988 drunk driving became illegal in all 50 states. 2013, The National Transportation Safety Board recommended lowering the BAC limit from 0.08 to 0.05. I didn't even know about that. What? That's not 0.05 now, is it? Utah implemented the 0.05. Oh, just Utah. No surprise. Don't get me wrong, guys. DUI is a despicable fucking crime. Absolutely. My only argument is that you don't know that. Like, nobody gets in a car and says, "Oh my God, I'm too drunk to drive." Not usually. You know what I mean? They think they're fine. And I just think that, the penalties should get harsher as with the damage you cause. Not like you shouldn't be punished for a crime that hasn't yet really been committed, And I know that might not make sense to you because drunk driving is the crime. But when you see what some of these sentences are like, guys, I told you, I saw an article once. A friend of mine got 33 years in the feds for multi-keys of heroin and coke and everything, and he had a storage locker full of fucking machine guns and bulletproof vests. He got 33 years. Okay. A few days after he got sentenced, I was at work at Stouffer's, and I was in the break room, and I looked at the newspaper, and it showed a guy. He had R-worded three women, I believe, and he got 4 years. 4 years for R-wording 3 women. So now think about my friend who I think he had 5 DUIs at the time or something. You remember I told you he got 38 months, or before that he had gotten 5 years. I don't know what number DUI that was, but throughout his DUIs, he never hurt a person. Never. So it is kind of crazy, right? It's like, holy shit. 5 years in state prison? Even my other friend, 2 years. So, I mean, I just think it gets crazy, but that's why it is the way it is. You're not beating DUIs. DUIs are cut and dry pretty much, unless you can prove that the cop had no fucking reason to pull you over or some shit like that. If you get caught drunk driving, you're getting convicted of it. That's it, period. Regular DUI in Cali, first offense, no accident, is about 10 G's total. First offense? Well, that's Cali, I guess. Second gets heavy, though, with fines, time in jail, and the breathalyzer in your car for a year if they give your license back. I can't believe the first is 10 G's. That's insanity. Nick needs the help. Do they impair your judgment? Yeah, that's what they ask. Something like that. Nick needs help. The 6 months I've been seeing him here on YT, he has really went downhill fast. Oh my God. He's like another lefty. You know what I mean? I don't know what that's or I'm not sure what that's a reference to. Tony B, what's up? That guy in Arizona is out of control. I know. If the gun has a body on it, you get caught with the gun. Yeah, you could be charged. No, but that's not what I mean. I'm not even talking about a specific, incident or something. I'm talking about I'm just making the comparison. It's like sentencing somebody for an accident that hasn't happened yet is kind of like sentencing somebody for a shooting that hasn't happened. Yeah, you were driving the car, but you didn't cause an accident. Yeah, you were carrying a gun, but you didn't shoot nobody. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's all I mean. Jimmy Calandra, Nick Romano, he was arrested for a DUI. Was it, guys, when was it? Thanksgiving Eve? I got my second DUI coming out of a sports bar. They have cops in the bar, 5 cars surrounding me within a block. Yeah, I'm not surprised they have cops in there. That's nuts. When I was in high school, our school would have the police take a DUI accident car, plop it in front of the school with signs saying this is what happened. Oh, yeah. A lot of high schools do that. And don't get me wrong, guys. Let me tell you something. When you do these DUI classes and you're forced to sit there and watch videos, of these horrible, not the accidents taking place, but I mean the cars afterwards and the mothers screaming at the funeral, and you're seeing that, babies and toddlers got killed and I mean, oh my God. That's why I say, don't get it twisted what I'm saying here. My stance will always be drunk driving is one of the worst crimes a person could commit, but it's not the same as any other crime. Any other crime, you're fully aware of what you're doing. Drunk driving, you have no idea. Everything is a good idea. I'll never forget when I left a bar once. I had no license because I lost my license for a DUI. And I was so wasted. This dude, Chad, let me we were at his house with some girls or something. I had to get home. He told me to take his car. Now, I don't remember any of this. I went home. I was in Parkway. He was on the east side. It was a bit of a drive. Okay. I made it home. I went to bed. I woke up. Damn near the whole day passed. I didn't know I had a car. I had no fucking idea. He hit me up later. Where's my car? I said, what? What do you mean, where's your car, bro? In your fucking driveway? I don't know. He's like, bro, you took my car home last night. I said, I don't think I did, bro. He was like, nah, you did. And I found it. It was about, maybe 3-4 houses down, parked. But I mean, I don't know. There should be, listen, it got, I think things got a lot better with Uber and Lyft and stuff like that. You ain't got to drive drunk. You drive drunk now, there's zero excuse, but it's always going to happen. It's always going to happen. The only solution is you put a blow and go in every car that's produced or manufactured and, ends up in the U.S. I know that might sound crazy, but it wouldn't be that big of a deal, right? Put a breathalyzer, on the dash has a little thing you pull out. You ain't got to do it like, if you've had DUIs and you got to do it randomly while you're driving, just that one time. But they won't do that because they need the money. I told you guys this shit I've heard from cops. I told you, I heard a drug task force agent say that they don't give a fuck about the drugs. They just want the money. They don't care about getting drugs off the street. So, it's the same with DUIs. They don't care. It's just, all this money that comes in from all these crimes, that's what funds these police departments. You know what I'm saying? That's what really funds that's why, like stupid right-wingers, they'll never understand what defund the police meant. They're so fucking stupid. They think that means, abolish police. No, they're talking about the federal funding that goes to police departments so they can make themselves like the military. So there's police stations in the middle of nowhere in states like Utah and shit that have fucking tanks, actual army tanks. They have military equipment. That's insane. Police departments don't need that shit. So defunding the police would have only stopped that. And it would have only been on a federal level. It wouldn't have been the state or the county funding the police. No, it would have just been federal money going to these police departments so they could get this outrageous equipment and every fucking thing else. And that I'm all for that. Why should they have, guys? 4 or 5 years ago, I was driving down Jackson Street, I think, in New York City, and there was a raid happening. It was early in the morning, and there was like maybe 10 cops. These guys were in line, like in the military, like in formation, with shields. Okay, in full like a full military uniform with armor and it was fucking insane. It looked like the military was raiding a fucking house. I couldn't believe the shit they had. And they got, fucking machine guns and the cops to raid a fucking small-time drug dealer on Jackson Street. It's just absurd that the lengths it's gone to. So, anyway, little off topic, but not really. It's about funding the police department. The DUIs, they need that. You know how much fucking money that brings in? Do you know how many industries are fueled by it? I mean, hospitals make money off of it. The police department makes money off of it. The county makes money off of it. The state makes money off of it. The drug and alcohol counselors make money off of it. Inpatient, outpatient rehabs make money off of it. The behavioral health places and places like that who hold DUI classes, they make money off of it. You know what I mean? And then if you need a blow and go, the company that gives you the thing on your card, they make money off of it. I mean, there's so much fucking money in DUIs. They'll never fucking, they're never going to lighten up on it. They're never going to come up with a solution because they don't want a solution. They don't. He's definitely on something and is losing his goddamn mind, but where's his family or friends to get him help? They probably had it with him. I don't know. Scumbag extraordinaire got arrested. Bush dweller. Yes, very good. MAD is a tough organization. They are. Do you see how things work out in life? That's pretty awesome. Jimmy, I agree. Mom's against drunk driving, completely unable to negotiate terms sufficiently. Okay, MAD. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't say that. Listen, I don't disrespect those women because those women lost children and stuff. They're all mothers of children who have died in car accidents or been seriously injured. So I understand. It's just another example of how some special interest group can line the pockets of politicians and make shit happen. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Tony Ducks, thank you for the 20. Oh, you already know, bro. You never have to thank me. Appreciate you. If you ever been arrested for DUI, the videos they show you about drunk driving is horrific. Oh, bush dweller, you ain't kidding, man. You'll leave there in tears, like, oh my God. And that's when you'll start to really hate your fucking self. It is a bad fucking thing. It's a bad thing. But, again, I mean, it's just... If you're too drunk to drive, aren't you also too drunk to make the decision whether or not to drive? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just odd. The way the court system works, everything has to be, you know what I mean? Like, there's guidelines and everything else and necessary shit that has to happen, paperwork and everything, all this stuff for a case to even go to court. But a DUI, man, if you got alcohol in your system, boom, you're done. You're convicted. Or drugs, it's like there's no. But the person was being chased by a serial fucking killer and got in his car and he lived 2 blocks away and there was nobody on the road. They don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Oh, I only had 3 drinks and my mother was in the middle of a massive heart attack and I was trying to rush her to the hospital. They don't give a fuck. Don't matter. What messages do I keep getting? Oh, man, somebody, oh, shit. Let me get to the bottom here. I can't read all the comments. Somebody blocked. Damien was in the chat and put a link in the chat. Is that right, Jesse Roth? Wow. Did you really, Jason? Holy shit. Guys, come on, donate. I made $30 so far. I appreciate the people that sent that. Well, 50 with the Dux's donation. Did I read that one? My coochie's hair? Yeah. Thank you. And that one. Yeah. So come on, guys. My last day of the fucking month. You unblocked them. Listen, I got a little announcement. Damian Trites, who is clean and sober for quite some time now. I don't know his exact dates. And works in drug treatment now. Is going to be starting a channel. Next Exit Sobriety. Yep. Yeah, that's all right, Miss Camberong. I should have told you before the show. That's the new channel name. Did he put the link in the chat yet? I don't think he's home. I asked him, unless you could find it. I didn't try to find it, but I want people to obviously subscribe to this channel because it only took 3.5 years to get somebody else to start an addiction and recovery channel. You know what I mean? And do something positive. And I'm very proud of Damien, and I'm happy he's doing this. And anything that adds to that community of addiction and recovery, fantastic. There should be more channels on here where people do that. But unfortunately, most of the people on here who claim to be clean and sober are still using every goddamn day. So Damien Trites the fighter. Yeah, of course. Mike Acazza Formaggio. Okay, there you go. Is that cheese fuck? Next exit sobriety. Sorry, hon. I didn't realize that was you, sweetie. I got you. Yeah. He's. Let me see. Next exit sobriety. Yeah. Now you have a good night, brother. Yeah. So he's gonna be. Oh yeah, absolutely. Damien. Me and Damien are cool now. We're friends now. You know, we went through it a lot, but he's a good dude, and he's really serious about his own sobriety and shit. And he wants to help people. Like I know, you know what I mean? He really wants to help people. There's nothing in this for him other than to do that. So it's great because we need more channels doing positive shit, but especially that stuff, because I don't know if anybody's noticed, but here on MobTube, there's a lot of addiction, drug addiction and alcohol addiction. You know, I mean, how many fucking guys, name the content creators who don't currently or didn't at one point during their MobTube career have a drug or alcohol addiction? Name them. There's a couple, but go ahead. Oh, yeah, no. Listen, yeah, call me, bro. Don't do that. I swear to God, I'll come to where you're at. I'll slap you around. Don't do it. Some still do. That's what I mean, Bush. Most of them still do. But there's some, I can't say for sure they still do, but I know they did at certain points. There's not many you could, Angel, yeah. And me, you know, I'm talking about like during the MobTube thing. I've been clean and sober, you know. Angel isn't on anything, as much as it might seem like she is sometimes. She's a little dopey, but sorry, Angel. Who else? Who can you really name? So, and there's one or two other people, but you know, for the most part. Probably not long, Ducks. Venmo Bald-Sicilian, if I was Tony Pizza, that'd excite me. Instead of 20 guys who will settle for one visit from FBS. No, but I'll behave. I appreciate you. You better, bro. I want your word. Because I swear to God, me and Shannon will drive down there tonight. We will. It won't be pretty, Jason. It won't. I'll cut you. I'll fucking cut you. All right, good. There you go. See? Now, Jason's a good man. If he gives his word, he'll keep it. Proctor comes across as a T-tot. What is a T-tot? Well, he's another one. I don't believe he's had any drug or alcohol issues. I mean, I couldn't even picture Proctor with anything like that. But I wasn't thinking too much of him. I was thinking more of like the channels, like this one, you know, like the regular MobTube channels, not so much the MobTube content creators or mob content creators. I believe you. You know, Shanna, she feels as strongly about this shit as I do. She'll definitely cut you. Oh, you mean a person who doesn't drink alcohol, period? Teetotaler, whatever the fuck. How's that pronounced? I forget. There you go. There's Damien. Next exit sobriety. Yeah, I know you can't You don't realize it's him because he's disguised as a sobriety channel, but that's him. Next exit sobriety. Sobriety only on my channel. None of the nonsense. Anyone who has an issue, call me up. If you don't have my number, you know me enough to have an issue. Oh, I'm sorry. I was confused. If you don't have my number, you don't know me enough to have an issue. Yeah, there you go. I got you. I thought you meant have an issue like with drugs or alcohol. You were saying like if you want smoke. I'd be letting myself and a lot of people down. The shame would be unbearable, so I won't do it. No, I will shame you right here on this show. Chris Capella, what's up? Guys, hour and 10 minutes, still 122 people. Good show, positivity, no negativity. Guys, I can't, I'm telling you, we're at one of those points again. I can't fucking take this. I can't have another day like this. Whatever you guys got, dig down deep and donate, please. Okay? Because I what do I got to do? I was talking to Shanna last night. Do I got to dip into savings and just take like a month off? What's the point anymore? The next time I'm leaving, I'm leaving permanently. We got to get some donations going, guys. We have to on this show right now. So please. Oh, there you go. Mike just subbed. I want to help people only get sober. I've been through hell this past month. He has. He definitely has. No doubt. There definitely seems to be a correlation between crime and addiction. Is it a chicken and egg scenario or specific mindset? I don't even think, because let's be honest, most of these content creators never talked about the mob. Not really. It's just the world we live in, and especially the country we live in. You get any group of people together, and probably 80% of them currently have an addiction issue. You know, no joke. So, Antonino, $20 for found some money in the couch. Thank you, bro. You always donate. Thank you, man. What was I saying? Yeah, it's just this, it's any community, maybe 80% is a little high. I bet you 80% either have an issue or had in the past, maybe, but that's probably still high. I would say definitely it's over 50, 60% minimum. Yeah. Everybody's addicted to something these fucking days. You know what I mean? Seriously, painkillers, fucking benzos, housewives taking fucking, Ativan, Klonopin, Xanax every fucking day. You know what I mean? People who take these shit to sleep, they get hooked on it. Fucking painkillers, opioids, shit like that, or street drugs, dope, coke, crack, fucking, even weed. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Potheads are the most severe drug addicts I've ever seen in my life, ever. And I mean that. I'm not kidding. On a daily basis, I see just how potheads can't go without smoking fucking weed. It makes me sick to my fucking stomach. I'm talking about for a short period of time. If you can't go to a skate park and skate for an hour and a half without lighting up a joint at a place that's, pretty much it pretty much exists for kids, I don't know what to tell you. Nick reminds me of those dudes from jail who talk a ton of shit, then get slapped and whimper away and make all sorts of excuses for why this and why that. Yeah, definitely. Without a doubt, Mike. Substance abuse is way more common than criminal behavior. I would guess criminals generally do substances, but the majority of those use substances aren't criminals. I think I'd agree with that. I'm addicted to porn. Is there a rehab for that? There's got to be somewhere. Did you really, Bobby? Fucker. All right, guys, I gotta go. I'm out. Look what can I say? $30 in super chats and fucking $40 in cash. When does this end, guys? Can you give me a date, like when the fucking donations pick back up, so I can just take off until then? I guess I'll try again tomorrow. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at this. Hold on. That's a little something. Bobby Barbarian, $10 for 10 more minutes. All right, I got you, bro. And then this other one is 6833. Oh, okay. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but he said he's 8 months sober today. Congratulations to you. That's fucking awesome. I'm very, very happy for you and proud of you. And he said he will most definitely watch Damien's channel. So that's great. Thank you so much for that, man. You have no idea. You're the man. You've been saving my ass a lot lately, so I appreciate you. I always appreciate you, but you know what I mean? Lately, I don't know what to do anymore. Oh, Stephen Cordell, $15 for match. Stephen Cordell, thank you. And as you guys know, he's one of the biggest sponsors of the show. So when he says match, you must match. You have no choice. Okay? Charlene and Clark, $10. I'll match Bobby for another 10 minutes. Nice. All right. You got it. Well, I can't go too long, though, because Shannon's getting ready. Yeah, that's great. 8 months is great. Thank you, Charlene and Clark. You're the man, bro. Congrats to anonymous donor. We congratulate you on your sobriety. Hell yeah, man. Fucking right. You want to know something funny? I'll tell you a funny story. The first time I ever went to an AA meeting, it wasn't for me. I had a friend named Steve. This guy, when I tell you about, do you want to talk about a bad white boy? This motherfucker was like a walking crime spree. First of all, this kid was built like a fucking heavyweight boxer without ever lifting weights. It was in his genes, I guess. This fucking guy was enormous, and he could fight like a motherfucker. He was a menace. And he used to do all types of crazy shit. He dealt in guns a lot, drugs. He would fucking rob houses, burglarize shit constantly, rob drug dealers. He was a fucking lunatic. Lily White, German, I think he was. But he came from a family of alcoholics. And, he became one of them. And I'm talking about when we were younger. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. 15, 16. It's like that since I met him. And he asked me to go to a meeting with him once. I don't know if he wanted to go or if he was on probation. I don't remember. But I went with him. It was in the basement of a church. And I had been drinking a good bit. Them fucking Nazis. I had been drinking a good bit. And like I said, it wasn't for me. I was just there with him, support, whatever, for a friend. And they, at the end, they said, who has been sober 24 hours, or more? Now, I wasn't severely addicted at that point, but I hadn't drank for 24 hours. So I raised my hand, and they gave me the chip, the 1 day at a time chip. And in a way, I kind of felt like shit about it because I was like, did I just take credit for something? I don't know. I was, starting to have issues. So, but if only I would have taken that fucking chip and said, that's it. For whatever reason, just the fact that they gave me this, I'm going to quit now before I ever have a problem. Holy fuck, how insanely different my life would be. But that dude was, to this day, severe alcoholic, owns a huge company, and it makes fuck tons of money. But he still don't have a license. He still drinks every day, day in and day out, including at work. But this dude was a bad motherfucker, man. I took Gano Grills after the movie premiere that I DJ'd with Cam and them. Gano Grills was the guy from In Too Deep. LL Cool J stuck the pool stick in his ass. He was the guy in the Killing Me Softly video that got chased around. He was in The Sopranos. He was in mad shit. Oz. I was hanging out with him after the movie premiere. I think I showed you guys the picture. I posted it in my community. It said "Keep Banging DJ CeeLo," something like that. But I was hanging out with him after the movie premiere at this club called Jimmy P's. That's where we took the picture and shit. And he was like, "I want to go to a party or something where there's girls." And of course, no doubt. And I brought him to this party in the hood. And I lived in this building. It used to be the governor's mansion. There's 54 West King. No, 54 South Hartley, 501 West King, I think. It was huge. It had the address on each street, you know, on the one street and the cross street, whatever. It was a fucking, I'm not even going to get into the apartments were like fucking 2,000 square feet. They were huge, but it was a fucked up building, you know, and it was a bad place to be. And my friend Troy was having a huge party, you know, so I was like, let's go there. And we got there, and here's Troy, another bad motherfucker, fight like a, you know, just a tough bastard, you know, built like a brick shit house. Him and Steve are out there fucking these black guys up. I mean, they had him up against the garage, beating the living fucking shit out of them. And here's Gano Grills looking at me like, what the fuck? And I'm like, bro, it's a party. I didn't know this was going to be going on. And he said, listen, I got into acting to get away from this shit. You know, he's from Brooklyn. So he wound up leaving and he went and met up with Cam and they went to some speakeasy in York City. But crazy shit. Let me see something. Where are you going tonight, FBS? I don't know yet. We might go out and do some shopping. I don't know, but we want to get out. Might go to dinner. We have no plans. We just want to get out. Shannon don't have much time off, unfortunately. So we try to make the most of it. I would have donated more, but I was appalled and offended by your chauvinism yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't chauvinism. Listen, listen. Bush dweller, it's all good. If you're having, you know, don't worry about it if you can't. But my point when I say that is that a lot of people can, they just don't. What was I saying before that? I don't remember. I read that one. Saxon, £5. Yeah, did I read that donation? Or did I just read the comment? JGB, $7.99. Wish I could give more, but I got an alcohol and gambling addiction to pay for. I feel you, bro. Thank you. Thank you. It's more than enough. Yeah, and I hope you're, I mean, I don't know if you're being for real or not, but I hope it's not out of control. And if so, I hope you get help. Still functioning, he said. The liver goes out eventually. My father found out the hard way. Liver cancer at 63 in 2018. I told you when I was 19, they told me I had the beginning stages of cirrhosis. They said if you hadn't had the seizure and if you would have kept drinking for 6 more months, you'd have full-blown cirrhosis of the liver. I dodged it a lot of times, man. That's why when I say it's a fucking miracle that I'm still alive, I am not kidding. I mean, between my liver, my kidneys, I mean, just that episode at 19, kidney damage, bone marrow damage, and enlarged heart, the beginning stages of cirrhosis. I didn't even know you could have bone marrow damage. Like, I couldn't even believe when they told me that. I couldn't even believe, what did I say? I couldn't even believe it when they told me that. It's crazy, man. Your liver has got to be the most amazing organ in the human fucking body. Seriously, the way it repairs itself. But you'll get your liver to the point where it just can't anymore. Just like any other part of your body. You know, there's a point where you're past the point of no return. That pool stick scene was nasty. LL Cool J. Think about it. I love it. Yeah, I know, bro. Or love it. Yeah, I remember him saying that to him. Fucking sick. You know that movie was based on a real life drug lord from Boston, Dorchester area. I didn't know that. I forgot about the movie In Too Deep. That was fire when it came out in '99. Yeah, it was. In Too Deep is underrated. The real story is, yeah, maybe I'll watch it again. I didn't know that. Shaky was important. Supreme Court issue or Skokie. What? Skokie? What? What are we talking about? Skokie was a. I may not like what you say, but will defend your right to say it. I know the case you're talking about, but what don't you like? I don't understand. I don't know. Anyway, FBS heading to casino, cash out people. Bush Dweller, don't start trolling in here, fuckface. You've made it this far. Don't fuck up now. Oh, no problem, man. Pills eat liver worse than booze. Is that true? My mother called me a drug addict once. I love that screen name. I wonder what you were like at keg parties in your teens and early 20s. After keg parties? Get the fuck out of here. I didn't go to no keg parties. That's why, not to be a dick, but that's like white boy shit. Like, no fucking way. Keg parties? Nah. I've never been to a keg party in my life. I never really hung out with, white people. I really didn't. You ain't gonna see nobody in the hood with a fucking keg party or a beer bong or any of that shit. I did have a group of white friends I would drink with and stuff, but they weren't like that. You know what I mean? Keg stand, drink. Fuck that. Nah, my thing was just liquor constantly. A friend of mine died this week from the drink. Liver packed out, was only 54. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry to hear that, John. My condolences. I can't afford a gambling addiction. At least with alcohol, you pass out eventually. So I save money on the back end. There you go. Yeah. No keg party. Fuck that, Jason. Keg party. White boy shit for sure. Yeah. You're going to wake up in the morning and find a penis drawn on your face after that keg party. I'll fucking kill somebody. You'd be surprised FBS tell dudes from the hood there's a keg party, free beer. They all show up. They might show up if you tell them there's free beer, but ain't nobody in the hood holding a fucking keg party. It's not so much the decision you make when you're drunk. It's the decision you make to start drinking when you know you have to drive. That's over decision is what you should be punished for. No, yeah, I know. I understand that. I know. But a lot of people, I don't know. Still, every case is different. You might not have been planning on driving. I don't know. But don't get me wrong. I'm still saying it's the worst crime ever. It's just, to me, there's a huge gray area with DUIs. There's several of them. It's very strange, how it all works out compared to any other crime. I was all about keg parties and beer bongs, but I'm also really white. There you go. Guys, give me a second. If I don't take a piss, I'm going to die. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I tried to go to the casino last night. I couldn't get in because Leon didn't have ID. Well, especially now that he changed his identity, you know, because of the WITSAC protection program and all that. We never had keg party. Guys, let me tell you something. A quick joke for you. Not a joke, but a funny story. I was on the fucking half pipe today that's in that picture, right? Back there. See it all the way in the back? That's what I do. I'm on that most of the time. And then that huge quarter pipe right behind me, I'm on that a lot. And anyway, I was just, I was doing kick turns and pumping up and down and going to the top. And, I'm not going to get into it. Maybe someday I'll show you a video. I was tearing the fucking half pipe up. And I had a gator on. I was freezing to fucking death. There's nothing blocking the wind out there. It's in the middle of fucking nowhere. So I had like a gator on, but the one with the top too. So it's just your eyes. And I was trying to adjust it, and I slowed down, and I started to lose speed. Well, when you lose speed and you hit the transition like that, the board is going to shoot out from under you, like I told you. Well, today I lost speed. That didn't happen, but I accidentally kicked the board up, and when I tell you, it hit me directly in the balls. I'm not kidding. Directly. They call it, sacking yourself. You got sacked. I got sacked today. That shit fucking hurt. My God. But I got exercise. I have had fun. You know what I mean? Had a good time. I was all by myself today. I liked it. Then a couple of friends showed up towards when I was leaving, but I was leaving anyway. You got to be careful. Draw a dick on the wrong person. It's beef. That's right. That sober decision is what you're getting punished for. Yeah. I don't know. I guess. I don't know. Because again, how could they possibly argue that you knew you were going to drive? How could they possibly argue that? Now, if you drive to a fucking bar and you get drunk in the bar and leave, yeah, it's more of a conscious decision. But how could they tell you what's going on in your mind if you're just on the road somewhere driving and you came from your house or anything else? You know what I mean? Like, but there's also a part of Mustache Pete that what always fucked me up about alcohol is that they all drink it. By they, I mean the people in charge. And they all drive. You know what I'm saying? It's just like everything else. It's, the law only applies to certain people. But like I said, it's a horrible crime. I have a lot of arguments for it. Like, for example, Mustache Pete, what I was saying in the beginning of the show. If you refuse a blood test, you have to sign a piece of paper on the spot. Okay, that tells you that on the paper it'll say, or in the packet of papers, that you are now forfeiting your license for a year. You're being charged with the highest tier DUI. You pretty much just pled guilty just by signing the fucking paper, and you're fucked. In so many words, that's what it says. Now, if you're too drunk to operate the vehicle, because according to them you are, how can you possibly make like a clear-headed decision to sign that paperwork? How could they hold it against you? If you're too drunk to drive a car, aren't you too drunk to sign this paperwork? You know what I mean? Like, you don't know. If you don't know what's going on behind the wheel, you don't know what's going on in this packet of papers. You don't know. The cops talking to you, you're hearing shit, you're seeing double. According to them, you ain't got to admit that. But that's what they're telling you about yourself. Like I said, when you go to sign a guilty plea at a pretrial or something, they ask you every question under the sun, so you can't come back and say, nope, I was under the influence when I signed that. So how come it works, on the street with the cops? I don't get it. Back in the day, I would go to keg parties at MIT frat houses with my buddies, all free alcohol and girls. And the girls thought I went there. Oh, they thought you went to MIT? Nice. They thought this motherfucker is he's going to be rich one day. I got to throw all the pussy out of my can right now before it's too late. Good idea, Antonino. I watched that once. Don't knock the keg parties. White girls are easy when they do a beer bong or two. White girl wasted is a real. Oh, I'm fully aware. Trust me. Some townies made the mistake of confusing us for MIT students. Didn't go well for them. I bet. The problem with keg parties is people Horde and the beer goes out early and the fizz is left. Then me being the host, I need to ensure no one steals the actual keg or I'm out though. Yeah, war. Oh my God. I was pissing that whole time I was gone. It was like, I think I lost about 3 pounds. I used to throw epic keg. You in the keg parties. The fuck out of here. Oh, Chris. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Your son is nice, bro. I ain't nowhere near. You know what I mean? I got a couple of tricks and shit left from when I was a kid. But I'm not trying to fucking be I'm literally doing this for exercise. And just because when I go out to these places and I start skating, I'm at peace, like never, and not, there's no other time in the day where I'm at peace like I am when I'm there. I just zone out. I focus on what I'm doing. I'm not thinking about anything. My phone stays in the car. No phone. You know what I mean? I'm just doing my thing, and I got friends around that I'll talk to and stuff. I have peace of mind when I'm out there, and it's exercise, man. I feel better. So I talk to guys all the time. Well, you got to learn tray flips and varials, and I'm like, I ain't gonna learn shit. I could skate like a motherfucker. That's all I need to be able to do. I could use these ramps. I know enough to be able to use these ramps and tear the park up a little bit. I don't need to learn shit. I still got a kick flip left from when I was a kid. I can still ollie like a motherfucker and, basic shit on ramps. I don't need to learn anything else. I'm 45 fucking years old. Let me tell you something you'll see at skate parks. Even the best skaters fall 80% of the time or fail, I'll say. They don't land their tricks. It's just attempt after attempt at the same trick. I just want to skate. You know what I mean? I ain't falling no fucking more. I can't. I think I fucked myself up for life. Oh, yeah, Philly butt. Well, that's what I was saying. I was talking about it last night. I mean, luckily, I don't fall anymore. The other day, I fell, but it wasn't bad. And it was the greatest fall I ever took because I came off the top of that half pipe. I had so much speed built up. And I did a kick turn, which is just like a 180. And when I came back down towards the ramp, my back trucks, which is what your wheels are on, got caught on the coping. That's like the little round bar at the top of the ramp. And I got what's called hung up. So I fucking went flying and I landed, boom, right on the fucking flat bottom of the ramp. And this dude was standing there with me. And I was just laughing. I was like, that's the best feeling I ever. When I was a kid, I used to dream. I didn't have no half. You got to understand, when I was a skateboarder as a kid, I wanted nothing more than to ride a half pipe. It was my dream. But I didn't have one. You know what I mean? Nobody I knew had one. And there was no skate parks like that on the East Coast back in the 80s and even the early 90s. You had to be on the West Coast for that shit. So a lot of this stuff they have now, I never got to ride. I was good enough to, but I never got to. I never went to a skate park as a kid. Not once. There wasn't any. So like 4 months ago or so, I was sitting around one day because I used to always take my daughter places and stuff, a lot of parks and a lot of skate parks. There's regular parks right there too for kids. And I used to, over the years, I would see these skate parks and I'd watch the skaters and I'd be like, man, I got to get back into that shit. Someday I just got to get on a board. And like 4 months ago, I was fucking sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, because I love to drive. I'm like, let me just go check out skate parks. And I checked out like 4 in one day. And I told myself, if there's people there, I'm not skating. There's no way. It's going to be embarrassing. Well, one of them only had one dude there. So I was like, fuck it. I ran back home. I was all the way in Lancaster. I came back home, grabbed a board that I had and went back. But man, let me tell you something about skateboarding. It is not like riding a bike. I fucking fell so many times. That's why I kept saying my palms hurt. I was landing on my fucking palms. You hit a rock and you just go, phew. Fucking my back, my ribs, my head. But now I'm good. I don't even wear pads most of the time or helmet anymore because I know what I'm doing. I'm sticking to the same kind of routine. But it's not like riding a bike. You lose that shit. And I had this popsicle board. Rodney Mullen in the 90s redesigned the modern skateboard. And instead of it having shape, you know what I mean? They made it just like a popsicle. Just goes like this. You know what I mean? It's all the same. You know, it's one shape, and it's got a tail and a nose. You know, that kind of stick up. And they're 8 inches, between 7 and like 8.5 inches. These fucking boards. So like this fucking wide. Ridiculous. I was killing myself on that board. So finally, I ordered a Steve Caballero, who I met, by the way, back in the 80s. I ordered a reissue of his deck. Well, his board in general. And I used that. And then recently, I got a Nicky Guerrero board, which is sick. So that's my thing, you know what I mean? That's what I'm doing now. I love it. I love it so much. Kind of, Bobby. It depends. I mean, it's a huge part of hip-hop culture now. Lil Wayne and shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, definitely. But you got to remember, I tried to explain this to somebody recently because they're like, I can't believe you skateboard because you're like, you know, from like, you know, an urban area and you're into hip-hop and you're in the streets. And it's like, not always. You know what I mean? There was a time in my life where I was just a good regular kid. And you know what changed me? Not allowing me to skateboard. I tell this story all the time. If I skateboarded on the street, I got in trouble. If I skateboarded at a church, I got in trouble. If I skateboarded at a school, in a parking lot, no matter where I was, I got in trouble for it. I was treated like a fucking criminal. They wouldn't let me skate. So I said, okay, if you're going to treat me like a criminal, I'll show you a criminal. And that was it. And that's another reason I think I'm doing it. I think it's half a midlife crisis. And I think half of it is that I feel like there's unfinished business there. I never got to really follow through with my passion because I wasn't allowed to. You know what I mean? So, fuck it. 45 years old. I'm back at it. And I'm having a fucking ball, man. Today was 33 degrees and I skated nonstop for an hour. Not bad. There you go. There's a good idea, BTF Phoenix. He's an OG street boarder. Yeah. I'd say skateboarding is more white boy shit than rollerblading. No, fuck no. Yeah, right. Bro, let me show you those skate parks sometimes. Most of them are black. Most of the guys there. No bullshit. That's your boy, Chris? Who? I don't know who you mean. Oh, it's your stepson that was a skater? Yeah, he's a beast. You're serious. I don't know what you're saying. What are you talking about? Who's my boy? Oh, you're talking about Capello's son. Oh, yeah. Oh, an OG street boarder. Yeah, he's a beast, bro. That kid. I watched the video of him. He's amazing. Oh, yeah, different one. I bought him plenty of boards until he was sponsored by Palace. Then he never had to buy one again. That's what's up, because, yeah, they get free decks and free boards and shit. Can I pop an ollie? Of course I can. That's one thing you never lose. I never lost that. Throughout the years, every now and then I'd hop on a skateboard and do one of those. And kick flips. I don't land them every time, but I can still do kick flips. And then, the little power slides and stupid little tricks, that, I'm telling you, man, you see these guys that are just all about that shit, like trick after trick. I mean, I saw a guy, I think I told you like a week or so ago. He was at the top of like maybe a 7-foot bank ramp. A bank ramp just goes straight down like this, and it's steep as fuck. The main purpose of it is to drop down on it and fucking get mad speed. There's usually like a quarter pipe across from it. Like that park I just showed you, there's a 7-foot bank ramp. Then there's a box you could ride over, and then there's a 7-foot quarter pipe. So, you get the speed from the bank ramp to hit the quarter pipe. This dude came back from the quarter pipe, went up the bank ramp and tried some trick. And I'm telling you, this motherfucker fell straight out of the air from about 7 feet in the air with his arm behind him like this. And I mean, he broke his arm. There's no question. And his fucking leg, I didn't know there was nothing wrong with his leg till he stood up. If I showed you the way he walked out of there, he was in excruciating pain. He picked up his board with his good arm. And if I showed you the way he limped, it looked like he broke his hip. And I mean, you just see them fucking themselves up. But there's a lot of black kids. You got to remember Lil Wayne and Lupe Fiasco and all those people that, you know, the skateboarding rappers. That's why the fucking stupid clothes became skinny jeans and shit, because of Lil Wayne skateboarding horse shit. Now I'll fucking die before I wear those, but I will tell you this, when I get to the skate park, I change out of my Jordans into a pair of Vans. I do that. I had to get skateboarding shoes. I was going through Jordans like crazy. It's extremely difficult. In Los Angeles? Oh, yeah, yeah. There were skate parks everywhere, though. Not on the East Coast, like in New York and shit. Nah. Rick Namano, I know you got a DUI. Rollerblade? Really? To the weed spot? That's funny as fuck. I was into the BMX scene when I was young. Some of these parks, the guys do BMX, but some parks don't allow bikes. I go to different parks all the time, guys. You know what I mean? So my son helped integrate hip hop and street skating in New York City. That's what's up, man. Yeah, believe it or not, skateboarding is a huge part of hip hop culture now. It has been for a long, long time. It's not like the 80s. In the 80s, you were real white boy shit, you know, listening to like fucking heavy metal, crazy skating music and having your fucking hair down over your fucking face and all that crazy shit. It's different now. Yeah, I remember that. They had them everywhere, not just the West Coast. I remember seeing those. Yeah, no, I got you now. I got you. My skateboard had a 9-inch front truck with slim wheels and a 5-inch black truck with fat wheels. Everywhere I'd go, everyone wanted to see it and try it out. Really interesting. I don't know. Some of the guys I hang out with at these parks, they snowboard in the winter. But no, that's not for me. I'm not going to do skateboard or snowboarding. I'm going to that park one of those parks every day. I don't give a fuck how cold it is, as long as it's not wet, because you will die when it's wet. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be somewhere. It's just, I'm addicted to skating now. I am. I fucking love it. And the exercise, I feel great afterwards. So, and that's why I never kept that as much of a secret as people thought I was keeping it. You know how many people I told from day one that I was skateboarding again? I told D. Gainey. I told Joey Dimes. I told Miss Can't Be Wrong. I told Tony Ducks. I told fucking a ton of people that I was back doing that. I didn't mean to keep it a secret because I don't care that much. People try to troll me and make fun of me. For what? What would be the difference if I was out playing basketball every day for a couple of hours? What's the difference? I know to you, because it's me doing it, boarding is like gay or something, whatever you say. You couldn't do it. None of these hating motherfuckers could do it. I'll tell you that much. And well, you're all sitting in your houses doing nothing with your fucking lives. I'm out there in the sun, enjoying myself, socializing, skating, having a good fucking time. So there was no shame in it to me. I think it's fucking awesome. So I never meant to keep it that much of a secret, but nobody said anything until, like I said, I passed some information to a person that I was doing that. And I told them to tell another person. And the next day it was everywhere. So I know exactly where, all that shit in the chats came from. I know exactly where. But for all the dickheads who were like, he didn't fucking skate, he got jumped. I think he got jumped, he got beat up. Shut up. Jesus fucking Christ. Anything that makes me look the worst, right? That's what comes to your mind. No, I fucking fell at Effort Skate Park right on my goddamn fucking face. That shit was brutal. Well, surfing, yeah, that's where skating came from, In the 80s, it was thrash music that went with skating. Yeah, that's what, I forgot what it was called. I'd been to PA for a snowboard, and Jake Frost comes to mind. I don't know. Oh, I told Jason too. I told everybody. I didn't give a fuck. I was enjoying myself. I was having a ball. You know what I mean? What, Chris? Oh, you didn't. What do you mean? You're just finding out that I was doing that shit, or are you not talking to me? I don't know. You talking about what people were saying in the chats and shit? What time is it? Oh my gosh, Jesse coming on? What the fuck? Jesse, shit. Is Jesse coming on? The trolls. Oh, yeah. And like I said, I basically put it out there on purpose. I knew the person who got that info was going to put it out there. But I wanted to make sure my suspicions about him were correct. And now I am. I don't give a fuck. You guys could try to make fun of me all fucking day. Any trolls? What are you doing? You know what I mean? I'd like to see one of you on a fucking skateboard. None of them have any friends, any social life, anything. You know what I mean? That's another reason when they say you're in the house all day. You have no idea. Usually by 11:30, I'm out and I'm on my way to a fucking skate park, and I don't come home till 3:30, 4 o'clock. I have just enough time to shave, shower, and do a show. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. No, yeah, that's. I told you it came from a certain person, but yeah, I was doing it. Well, just over like the last 4 months, not before that. I still have my 1985 Powell Peralta Steve Caballero board. It's hanging up. Do you know how much that's worth, Albert? That's probably worth $2,500 to $3 or $4 grand. I'm not bullshitting you. You fucking bro, look it up. You have no idea. I had the one Tony Hawk board. I gave it to this chick's son. The fucking thing's $2,500 now, and that's demolished. And mine was in good condition. Fucking one of the worst mistakes I ever made. Albert, bro, I guarantee you it's worth $2,500. Guarantee it. Look it up. I don't know what if you showed me, I could tell you which board it is and I'd look it up for you. FBS, the move in New York is to refuse field sobriety tests and breathalyzers. They don't charge you the highest here in New York. I was always told if you're drunk, refuse the breathalyzer. I did that. If that's what works, fuck it. The trolls only physical activity is typing a bunch of dumb shit in the chat. Listen, I figured out over the summer that I need to start working out every day, not just like to lose weight and stuff that I like to do. You know, I obviously love getting in better shape, but because of my heart. Guys, I've had periods of time in my life where I'd go to the gym every day. It lasts about a year, maybe 2 years, and then I would stop. I fucking hate going to the gym. I hate it. It's not something I'll be able to stick to every day. This shit, I love. I can't even wait every day to get the fuck out there. I love it so fucking much. So I'm slimming down more, and I've lost weight, and I fucking feel better. Like, as far as my cardio and breathing, holy shit. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to get going anyway. I got to get ready. I think Shanna's already ready. I got to go. All right, guys, thank you for everything. To the people who donated, I appreciate you. It picked up towards the end here, and that means a lot to me. Steve Blair, did I shout you out? $20 for Hope Mom's Good, bro? Thank you, man. Thank you very much. I don't know if I shouted that out. All right, guys, let me see. All right, well, Super Chat's $53, but it's all right. All right, guys, I got to go. I'll see you tomorrow at some point, all right? I love you all, and until next time, salute.